Hi, this is Father Christopher Robinson, and this point of the pilgrimage is the Church of Saint-Gervais in Paris. Now, obviously, I'm not in Paris as much as I'd like to be. I am in the Saint Louise de Marillac Chapel in the Student Center here on the Lincoln Park campus of DePaul University. And I'm standing next to a beautiful painting of Saint Louise as she is in motion, painted as if she's walking through the streets of Paris. The reason I chose the Church of Saint-Gervais is I went there when I was doing a Vincentian Heritage Tour to see the place where Louise de Marillac was married. Louise de Marillac had a very happy marriage, and she had a son and later a granddaughter, and it all began for her married life at Saint-Gervais. And I wanted to see what that was like. So I went there and discovered this beautiful 12th century church that Louise would have seen. It would have been a part of her journey. It would have been a part of her pilgrimage towards God's will for her. The reason, too, I wanted to see this is it was also a place of a kind of sadness for Louise. Louise experienced a kind of strangeness in life because she never knew her mother. Her father did give her his name, but at her wedding, at her family marriage in that Church of Saint-Gervais, everyone who showed up registered themselves as friends of the bride rather than as her family. She always felt a little strange because she did not know who her mother was, which could have made her illegitimate under law. But her father, Louis, who gave her his name, adopted her into that circle, and it was there that she began her married life. So I began to trace steps of Louise's life from that point where she experienced on one side feeling kind of on the outside, but then when it came to faith, feeling on the inside. This image of her is one of my favorites because it shows her in action, moving rather than staying stuck in a place. And a pilgrimage is about moving beyond a stuck place. It takes us out of our comfort zone into a place we never maybe would have imagined. Certainly for Louise de Marillac, this was definitely her experience. This chapel was also constructed with Louise in mind because her theology and her personal prayer were very contemplative. She was one of the only women of her time who was given permission to read the Bible in its original languages. She was a scholar, and she spent hours in contemplative prayer, but it moved her out into the world. This was very Vincentian, and she shared that spirituality with Vincent de Paul. This chapel, which is always here for you in the Student Center, is built with that in mind. In a moment, I'll show you the crucifix, but you can tell the space is a contemplative chapel space, yet it's surrounded by glass. You cannot hide from the world in Vincentian spirituality. You are in the world even as a contemplative. And this chapel, the Louise de Marillac Chapel, this space helps us visualize that. This beautiful icon of the crucifix was painted by the artist Meltem Aktas. She also did the painting of St. Louise that I showed you earlier. At the top of the icon, there is a quote that says, "Spes unica." That's Latin for only hope. Louise de Marillac, when she prayed before the crucifix, believed that the crucifixion, which Jesus embraced, created a space. By him removing himself through the crucifixion, he created a space for each one of us in the very heart of God. So spes unica, our only hope, is first of all, if we embrace the cross, knowing that it creates a space for us in the very heart of God, but it also invites us to create a space for those who have been rejected, who live in poverty, who live in racism and violence. The cross is our only hope. And Louise de Marillac knew this. She knew it from growing up. She knew it from her life with her husband, Monsieur Legras. She knew it when she prayed in the Church of Saint-Gervais, when she knew it before she prayed before the crucifix. We invite you into this space. We wish you a buen camino as you go step by step. Go forward and meet St. Louise de Marillac. She's a wonderful person.